Break with Reality, Part 4. They told him you couldn't get addicted if you just smoked it off the foil, the bastards. Aye, right. The way Gavin felt right now was a different story altogether. It was all he could think about, day and night, constant. He felt unwell, really unwell, but he knew a cure, and it was easy. He knew where to get it, knew where there was plenty of it. Easy if you had money, that is, and he didn't. All he had was this fucking monkey laughing at him, poking him in the back, goading him into doing what he deep down knew was wrong, controlling him. Gavin knew he was going out, no matter how many times he told himself he wasn't. He was still telling himself as he put on the shell suit top and reached for the door. Why the fuck had he listened to them in the first place? Okay, so things weren't going quite so well at that time. He didn't have much luck pinning down a decent job. Look at the jobs he got offered though, lowest of the low, slave labour. With no qualifications, what did he expect? School was shit. A laugh maybe, but shit. That place was glad to see the back of him, and he was glad to see the back of it. Fuck school, fuck work, fuck the folk he had to work for. Then that bitch had left him for the arsehole with the money. Fancy car, nice suits, expensive meals, jewellery, the lot. Fuck the both of them. He'd been in that kind of mood, self-flagellation. His mind was occupying the place where self-harmers go. Who cared what happened to him? No one he could think of. Fuck them all, every last one of them. So Bex had offered him something to take his mind off it, something to make him feel better. He'd taken it, fully aware of what it was and what might happen. But who gave a fuck? No one round here anyway. Angela was a cheeky bastard. His sister had tried to scrounge a pack of cigarettes from him earlier. Honestly, £20 a blowjob doing that harbour and she went to tap fags off him. Fucking cow. His ma couldn't give a monkeys. All she was interested in was when her next punter would turn up. The never-ending supply of strangers in the night. Okay, so she was desperate for money. Struck Gavin that she was also desperate for attention too. And if some scumbag with a couple of 20s in his pocket was going to pay that attention to her, even though it was less than half an hour at a time, she'd take it, and the money, buy the bare necessities, and the rest went on cheap vodka and cider to obliterate the guilt, become numb again. He needed to become numb again. Fuck this. Gavin turned the door handle and went out. He'd get what he wanted one way or the other. Fuck them all. Taxi queue was, as usual, a nightmare. Probably the place most likely on any given night for trouble to start. Inebriated people, all wanting home as quick as possible. You've got the couple eager to get to your place or mine, so they can rip each other's clothes off and do sex. Then there's a loner with a Chinese meal and 2 containers, who wants to get home quick enough so as to eat it before it gets cold. He's also contemplating what it would be like to eat 1 container at a time, although there'd be no way he could hold 2 containers and eat as well. Rice first or rice last. Problem after problem. Behind him there's a bunch of young guys, unsuccessful in their bid to capture the attentions of a woman for the night, jealously looking at the first couple mentioned, and therefore desperate to get home, have more drink, then masturbate while thinking about that girl with the micro miniskirt they got a rejection from earlier that night in the nightclub. Then there's a group of girls who have to work in the morning and realise they've been out too late. They're freezing because they didn't wear enough clothes for the weather and want to go to bed, fed up of being pestered by the group of guys who are 3 times as drunk as they are. The couple in the middle of the queue, she's pissed and he is, for some reason, still relatively sober. She thinks she should be further ahead in the queue than she is right now, and it's taken too long to go down. She tries to push in, using her feminine charm. She gets told unceremoniously to fuck off. She wants her man to defend her right to be an arsehole by punching the man who told her to fuck off. A simmering cauldron, indeed. Dougal and Keir decide to walk up a road, go to the kebab shop and then see if they can catch a fare from a passing taxi as they head in the general direction of young Jingo's party, once they find out where it is, that is. Hang on, I've just got to text Jingo, find out where the extracurricular activities are to be held. Dougal searched his eye for the phone in his pocket, activating the texting application and tried to focus on the tiny letters on the touch-sensitive screen in order to tap out a legible message. Hey, Gene, where you at? Well, this is actually, that's his text message. If you can read that. Dougal pressed send. Done. Right, we'll head up this way, Dougal said, pointing ahead and embarking on the walk, or stagger, up Union Street. Is this direction for his house? Keir asks, hand in hips, looking first up the street and then down the street from whence they came. I dunna ken, but it's where the kebab shop is. Ah, okay, let's go. The kebab shop in Rose Street was the first and is arguably still the best kebab shop in Aberdeen. And there's something new in the menu. What the fuck is that? Keir points at the elephant's leg spinning behind the counter. Doner, Dougal said with false confidence. Surely no, nae that colour. He looked again. It was closer to a flesh colour than the usual browny grey meat colour they were used to seeing. Hang on, excuse me mate, what's that? Dougal pointed at the alien elephant's leg. It's chicken kebab mate, one of the guys serving behind the counter informed him. It's chicken kebab, he says, turned to Dougal to tell him, but he'd suddenly disappeared. Yes, help you? Dougal turned back and the same counter assistant was talking to him. Two chicken kebabs, please. He pointed again at the large chicken leg. Okay, mate. You want a hot sauce, both kinds? Aye, please. Hot sauce, both kinds, always seemed like a good idea. Dougal went over to one of the windowsills adjacent to the waiting area and sat down, back resting against the glass pane, wondering how long it was going to take and starting to wonder what had happened to Keir. Two chicken! The counter man looked and pointed at Dougal. He'd been sitting for barely 3 seconds. Oh cool. Aye, me, he said, jumping up, unable to hide the joyous surprise he felt at getting served so quickly for a change. Handing the counter guy a tenner, Dougal took the 2 paper-wrapped bundles and turned to go, still vaguely wondering about Keir's whereabouts. He got outside and looked up and then down the length of the street. No signs of his companion, so he decided to head back in the direction of Union Street. Is that mine? Came a voice from the first doorway he passed. Startled, Dougal turned to see to whom the voice belonged, and there was Keir, leaning against the shop door, propped up against the glass by his forehead, pissing against the window. Ah, it's you. Wondered where you got to. Look, here's your kebab, man. Dougal held out one of the packages. Oh, aye, cheers. Keir finished up, turned, wiped his hands in his jeans and took his kebab. What kind is it? Elephant chicken. Okay, good. Love elephant chicken. They walked back onto Union Street and Dougal's phone announced with his familiar ding that he'd received a text message. He fumbled with his phone in one hand while precariously balancing the now open kebab box and its paper in the other. Right, 65A Carland Place, Rosemount, Dougal proclaimed. Luckily they were heading in the right direction, give or take a turn. This is a phenomenon. Keir was looking at Dougal with an almost startled Eureka-type look in his face, nodding, pointing at his kebab. There was hot sauce dripping down through the stubble on his chin. Oh aye, the future. And we're seeing it right here, Dougal agreed, pointing at his own kebab. See, what they've done is, right, they've taken fast food, right? Aye. And do you know what they've done with it? Yeah, Keir thought for a moment. Heated it up. Well, aye, but no, but you know what they've done? Dougal didn't wait for an answer this time. They've speeded it up. There you go. They've speeded up fast food. Keir frowned, then realised that the lines disappeared. Keir frowned and released it, the lines disappearing from his forehead like ripples on a beach when the tide comes in. He reminded Dougal and Stan Laurel when he did that. Aye, you're right, that's what they've done. Fuck me, they're nae daft, I can tell you. Aye, now hold this while I go for a single fish. But you've already got a kebab, have you, nae? Says a puzzled Keir, pointing at the kebab in Dougal's hand. Aye, no, a single fish, a pish. Ah, the penny dropped. Right you are. Keir accepted the proffered kebab in his free hand and proceeded to literally stick his face into his own one, trying to tear a piece of pita bread free by using only his teeth and lips. Dougal strained his sprouts in the nearest doorway. Relief. Okay, onward mixed fud. Dougal, wiping his own hands of t-shirt, took his kebab back, much to the relief of a yoghurt-nosed Keir. They continued in the general direction of the Rosemount area. 10 minutes later into the walk, they turned the corner of Rushton Street. Dougal was suddenly aware of a flash of white in the corner of his eye, which appeared to materialise from the close to the flats they were passing. The flash of white now formed into a ghostly apparition in front of him. It was a young man with what appeared to be a knife glinting in his hand. He must have been all of 5 feet tall, no more than 18 years old. "Right, you fuckers, get your money and your mobile phones." The young shell-suited man seemed to be rather agitated. His pale, gaunt, sweaty face looked skeletal-like in the dimly lit street. Thin black hair plastered to his forehead. It was plain to see by his demeanour and the shaking of the knife in his hand that he was having some kind of drug withdrawal problem. Heroin or crack. Both, most likely. "Or what?" Keir asked, sounding more calm than Dougal thought he should. "Or I'll fucking do yous." He brandished the small knife closer to their faces. They were about to get robbed. Keir and a wide-eyed Dougal turned and stared at each other.